Hi everyone, Rich Crescenti here with another in our series of videos making music with Melodyne, and today we're going to continue to focus on Melodyne and Pro Tools. Melodyne Essential. Pro Tools and Pro Tools Ultimate now come bundled with Melodyne Essential. And so we have a lot of new users out there. These videos are for you. This is to show you that there is a lot you can do in Melodyne Essential. Today what we're going to be covering is polyphonic editing. Okay, let's dive in. Now, first things first, I know what you're saying. If you've worked with Melodyne Essential before, you think there is no polyphonic editing. And you're right. We don't have true polyphonic editing capabilities. However, we do have some power and flexibility to edit polyphonic material. And new in Melodyne 5, we have some really cool tricks that are available new for everyone. So let's dive in and take a look at this right here. I've got a guitar right here. I've got Melodyne instantiated on this, and we see it. If we look at the algorithm, I had it set to automatic, and you see that automatic chose universal, right? This is important. We're going to come back to this later on, but this is what we need for editing. But first, I want to extrapolate and understand the polyphonic information. So I need to change this algorithm. Very, very simple, right? I just hit Command A to select all the notes. Come over here to my algorithm and choose polyphonic decay. And it will say, do you want to redetect? We'll say yes. Now you have your choice of polyphonic decay or polyphonic sustain. Polyphonic decay is for notes that have a prominent attack and then decay after that. Guitar, piano. Polyphonic sustain is for instruments that don't have such a sharp attack and decay after. Strings, or maybe certain mellow keyboard pads or patches. Polyphonic sustain would be better for those. Okay, now we see we've actually got polyphonic information here. We see multiple notes that are overlapping, and if we scroll a little further in the song, we actually see chordal information. Right now, the key here is that you'll notice it's gray. Right now, it's gray and grayed out because we don't have editing capabilities. This is an example of look but don't touch, but we still have some cool information we can figure out right here. What I want to show you is the key track and the chord track. And the buttons for both of those are right here, right? If I click on this button right here is the key track, and it opens us up. And now what I can do is select all of these notes and right click and hit analyze. And this will analyze this polyphonic information and give me the key of the song. This is much a better and more accurate way to figure out the key than just using a monophonic track like vocals. This will give you more accurate information based on that. It's also the beginning of a lead sheet. To complete that, we want to add in our chord track, which is this button right here. Now we can look at all this information and we can right click in here and say analyze chords, and this will give us the chords that were played throughout the song. Now we've got a complete lead sheet. Very useful if you're an engineer trying to communicate with the musicians. Somebody wants to know what's the chord that's at bar 16. You could say that's an F minor right there. Also, what you can do is if you're a musician, this gives you much faster than trying to figure out every chord in the song. We just instantly created a lead sheet for this whole song. Very powerful and useful stuff, and this is new for Melodyne 5. Okay, but if we want to do some editing, we're still going to have to work within that universal algorithm. So let's go back to that. I'm going to hit Command A to make sure all my notes are selected. Come over here to algorithm and choose universal and redetect this again. And now we see the universal algorithm. You could tell it's universal, right? Because we no longer see concrete notes on the side right here, F, F sharp, G. What we see is 0, which is the pitch of the song, and then we get above 1, 2, 3, 4, and below. We do have polyphonic editing capabilities. We can't edit individual notes, but we can take the whole song and transpose it up or down. Now, this is very useful for a couple of reasons, right? Let's say you've recorded the whole song and the singer can't get up there. It's a little bit out of the singer's range. Well, you could take all of your instruments like so, right? Check out this guitar. If we listen to this, I can select all of this. We could just transpose that up like so. And now we get just like that. So this is an easy way. You could take all your instruments except for drums and transpose it up or down into a key that works better for the singer. Or maybe you're trying to bring in some loops or ambient samples that you found online. You can transpose those up or down to work well within the song that you've got right here. But enough about pitch editing. What we really want to talk about is this power and flexibility of the timing editing, which in Melodyne Essential is everything. You get all the full cadre of timing editing tools in Melodyne Essential. So let's take a look at this right here. I want to play this guitar track and this drum track. Okay, so I want to tighten this up, right? This is all right, but I want to get this better lined up with the drums. So let's talk about our timing editing capabilities. I'm going to zoom in a little bit right here. Now, first things first, I want to make sure that our timing grid is off, and you can see that that is off right there. So now what I can do is just come over here to this timing tool, and we can grab the beginning of the note and move it over, put that right on the grid so it lines up with the drums. I could do that with one note. I could also take all of the notes by hitting Command A and come over here to my timing tool. I'm going to choose 32nd note because I want each one of these notes to go closest to where it was originally supposed to be. And watch what happens, right? As I start to move all of these, we see these notes start to shift. They're going to move closer until you get to 100% and they get right on the grid with the drums. So I hit OK and now we can listen. Okay, so that is right on the note, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it grooves with the drums, right? We got to find the way that this grooves with the drums. So what I'm going to do here is instead, I'm going to zoom in a little bit further and let this play and just nudge the notes back till I feel like they're locked into the beat. Yeah, that feels better. I like the way that feels a little bit better. It feels like it's gelling a little bit more as a track right now. Now, other things we can do, right? I see there's some noise right here at the beginning of the track. I can select these and just delete those. And then I see some notes that were flubbed maybe a little bit at the beginning, so I can correct those. You'll notice if I grab this right here at my timing tool, I can stretch the note out. But if I move my timing tool up to the top of the note, we get the note separation tool. And this is where I can move this over and say, you know what, this note actually starts right about there. And then I can grab this and move this over a little bit. And let's see, I got a few more of those. Here's a good one. I think this note actually starts right about there. And I can correct that. Come over here. Here's another one. I think that note starts right about there. So I can delete that and then clean that up. Same thing here. Just a really fast way. This is way faster in my opinion than trying to do anything like this just inside your DAW. I've got some noise here that I don't really need, some flubs. Hit Command to deselect that one note, delete those, tighten up the timing of that right there. Same thing here. I want the timing of this note to start right there. Just tighten this up till this works. And you can do this throughout the whole song, right? So now, even more, I could select all of these notes and come up here to my leveler macro. Very important with the leveler macro, you have to have a selection for this. That's not always true for your pitch macro or the time macro, but for the leveler macro, you have to have a selection made. So now what I can do is take all these quiet notes and make them a little bit louder, right? And I can take all my loud notes and make them a little bit softer. And when I hit OK, now what we get is... we have just done some editing with polyphonic material in Melodyne Essential. Hope you've enjoyed this today. Thanks.